Hey everybody, Grave Dancer here. Today we are playing Cybernight's Flashpoint, which is it's a new kind of cyberpunk heist game that just hit early access on Steam this week. I've actually been waiting for this one to come out for quite a while. It is inspired, or seems to be inspired by games like Shadowrun or Cyberpunk, those sorts of things. So the premise is you go on heists. You can take different paths through each mission. Um, Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the stealth mechanics and how that works. Since it's early access, there's in some cases documentation and the way things are explained in game isn't super clear. So just going to try to shed some light on a few concepts and might make people's life a little bit easier as they go through their Cyber Knight career. So uh, right now, I've got my guys kind of lined up in position over here, to the back side of this guy here that's guarding this door. I ordinarily would not advise having people standing out in the middle of nowhere outside of cover like I have guys here doing. But I put them there specifically because I want to approach kind of from this angle over here to illustrate a point. So uh, you can see there's a guy here that's kind of guarding the store, and this is the red outline is kind of his field of vision. You can see that there's a gap caused by all of these containers that are sitting in the way here, right? So this gives me an opportunity. If I come in from the right angle, I can get closer to him without getting spotted. You've got the red area, which is basically he's going to spot you kind of no matter what. The yellow area is more of a, okay, he's probably going to spot you if you're like out of cover, but as long as you stay in cover, he probably won't spot you. So, for example, um, I can take my vanguard here, Emily. She's more of kind of a thief or sneaky type class, right? So if I want to move her up here, I can move up here behind these crates and be really safe. But over here, this is kind of a yellow area, right? But you can see as long as I leave her in cover, I'm going to move her there, and this guy's not going to even be any the wiser because I'm still in that yellow area, but I'm in cover, right? So, um, and then she's going to wait there. I'm going to move my other dudes up just to get them closer. Um, I want to take this guy out, but I want to do it in a way that's going to help me stay stealthy, right? A couple of things you'll notice about this game. One, there is kind of a constantly ticking timer in the form of this escalation bar up here, right? And this basically is kind of the overall awareness of your enemies. As you do things that cause you to make noise or you get spotted either by guards or security cameras and that kind of thing, it will increase this at a higher rate of speed, right? And as each bar gets full, it's going to go to a new level. Every level, there's kind of an event that can happen. Sometimes reinforcements will spawn. Sometimes it'll just reset, any cameras and stuff that you've deactivated. Other times, new cameras will turn on, or maybe landmines will turn on, or different things can happen, right? And we want to avoid that as long as possible. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to delay it indefinitely. There's a couple of talents and things that you can get, or leverage, which are sort of mission level talents that you can buy from contacts that allow you to reduce some of that progress and slow it down, but you can't really ever get away from it, and that's intentional on the part of the developers. So what I want to do is I want to get up here and I want to take this guy out, but I want to do it in such a way that his body's not going to get spotted, right? If I kill him right there where he's at, there's this other guy here that's been patrolling around in this area here, and when he comes back this way, he's probably going to notice that body if it's right there, right? Also, there's this security camera that keeps reversing position. Sometimes it's looking this way, sometimes it's looking this way. We don't want the body to be able to be spotted by either patrolling guards or cameras or anything like that because it'll prematurely raise the alert level, and I don't want to do that. On this mission in particular, there's a guy that's in this building over here that I need to take out, and if the alert gets raised and he knows about our approach, he's going to take off running, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to sneak all my guys up here behind these crates, get closer, probably wait for this guard to kind of pat back the other way a little bit, and then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to lure this guard, you know, kind of over here somewhere out of the way, out of line of sight, and then take him out. And I'm going to do that with my Vanguard here in a minute, in a turn or two. Let me get my other guys up here. Move my hacker up there. And moving a Cyber Knight up here. Alright, yeah, so now see that camera just switched around. This camera just switched around, which is why I'm kind of going around this side of these crates instead of this side, because that way I don't have to contend with this camera potentially switching around and catching me in the act or anything. So now what I want to do is I'm going to wait and delay my turn on these guys until I can use my Vanguard. So now my Vanguard's here. She's got an ability called Lure, which, you know, basically like she's throwing a shell casing or doing something that's going to make noise over here and distract this guy. So I want to take this guard and I want to lure him kind of over this way a bit. And to do that, I'm going to throw that thing there. Now he's turned to suspicious status, which basically means he thinks something's going on and he's going to go check it out. Now I could probably do this a little bit faster, and probably would if I was doing this for real, but because I don't want this tally to keep raising too far on me. So, you know, a certain amount of speed is forced. So you'll notice on this tally up here, the escalation level, the yellow pips basically are pending or possible pips that are going to get added at the end of the turn. Sometimes you can get rid of that. Like, for example, if you get extra pips because a guy spots one of your characters, if you take that guy out before the end of the turn, his potential pips will get subtracted off, right? But at the end of the turn, if those pips aren't removed by some means, then they get added into the permanent tally, which is the blue here. Okay, so now this guy theoretically is going to move on his turn, so I want to delay all my actions until after he does that. Yep, so now he's going to come over here and he's going to look kind of this direction because that's where I lured him. So now I've got a chance I can take this guy out. So now I'm going to use, on two of my guys I've got swords. This guy here, my hacker, he doesn't have a sword. So a note about weapons as it pertains to stealth. So you'll notice the little sound icon here with a 1 by it. Basically that means that if I fire this weapon from this position, that's how many guys could hear the gunshot. Now you can reduce that number with weapons with silencers or suppressors on them. This weapon actually has a suppressor, which is why the only guy that would be able to hear it is this guy that's really close. Whereas if I were to fire my submachine gun, there's 3 guys that can hear it, right? So, and that includes this guy. So this guy would hear it, this guy would hear it, and probably this guy here would hear it. Or maybe the guy in the building. I don't know, they're about the same distance. I'm not sure which one it thinks is going to hear it. But anyway, I want to take this guy out, right? So I can shoot him from here with 95% accuracy. Although I've noticed this game seems to have used the XCOM accuracy algorithm. Like frequently I'll have like, 95, 96% projected accuracy, but then miss like, 2 out of 3 times. And it seems to happen a lot. So, whereas like the enemy, sometimes it seems like they have aim bots and they can shoot me in the head from across the map. But anyway, I'm going to take this guy out here. So I'm going to hit him with my suppressed pistol. And it's going to take, multiple shots to take him out. I could run over there and chop him with a sword from one of my other guys, but I'll probably just do this. And then I'm going to reload. Reloading early and often is better than having a turn where you want to be able to shoot a guy all 3 times, which would require all 6 of your action points, and not be able to do that because you got to spend 1 point reloading because you only had 2 shots left. So I tend to reload anytime if I get to the end of the turn and don't know what else to do with any action points I have. So that is how the mechanics work. So now this guy's going to pat back around. He's not going to be able to see this body, theoretically. At least not unless something lures him as a normal patrol route, like the security AI tells him, hey, there's a missing guard. Now that will happen eventually. If I look over this body, it tells you 5 turns until this guy's going to get noticed missing, right? So once this guy's noticed missing, then the security AI is going to order a guard, this guard or this guard or somebody else to come over and investigate and find out where the missing guy is, right? Then they're going to see the body, but that gives me an extra 5 turns to continue my approach over here and take this dude out, which is kind of the goal of the mission. So there we go. There's a quick and dirty stealth mechanics tutorial. One other thing I probably should cover actually is movement, right? When you go to move, you have the option to sneak or you can sprint, right? So right now I'm in sneak mode. So if I were to move over here, let me get it to one of my other dudes here real quick. So if I move with this guy right now, I'm in sneak mode, right? Which means it's going to take me 4 out of my 6 movement points to get over there because I'm moving slower because I'm crouching. However, I generate like half the noise that I would generate if I was sprinting. Like if I switch it to sprint mode, you'll notice that it takes me 1 less movement point to get here. So I'd have 3 left instead of 2, but I'm going to generate twice the noise. Now over here, that wouldn't necessarily matter. But if I was over here closer to this guy, like if I was trying to get over here, it's not giving me the herd icon because probably he's too far away, so I can't tell. But you'll normally get a message that tells you, oh, you're going to get herd. And the faster you're moving, the farther away from that guy you're going to get herd. Now, I know from experience, if I were to move like over here, even though it's not giving me the warning, I'm going to get herd. The guy's going to hear me. I'm not sure why he's not giving me that warning right now. It's either a bug or it's because I don't have a clear line of sight of him or something from where I'm at right now. But anyway, so the key to being sneaky is, one, you're going to want to move in sneak mode whenever you're moving around generally, unless like the alarm's already been raised and you really got to get somewhere fast. You want to avoid having bodies laying around where somebody's going to notice them right away, while being aware of the fact that you're not going to be able to keep them from getting noticed forever, and that's okay. And then the other thing is use your suppressed weapons, or better yet, a blade. Like if you can get really close to this guy, like if I could get my guys over into here, that would take me a couple of turns, but I could move my guys over here into this room, and then what I could do is I could jump over a low point in this wall and basically stab this guy from behind. And blades basically generate no noise, right? So unless you get seen, because you're in line of sight of somebody when you kill this guy, you could kill this guy silently with the blade. Now, I wouldn't want to kill him right here because this camera would switch over and see him, right? But I could lure him like over here into the far corner where it doesn't reach or something like that, and then kill him. But that's kind of the keys to being stealthy in this game.